We love that sound here in Indiana. That means also May, of course, around the corner and getting closer to the 105th running of the Indy 500. And when it comes to painting a picture of all the action with just words, the IMS Radio Network is the best in the business.
Lindsey recently talked to the radio team about what goes in to putting on a great show for your ears.
It's the unmatched sights and sounds that make the Indianapolis Motor Speedway such a magical place.
It's Johnny Parsons all the way.
Race fans around the globe had to rely on radio broadcasts to be their eyes and ears through 1964.
But even then, there were a lot of restrictions on the live broadcast of the race and local blackouts, and that's what kept the tradition of listening to the race on the radio alive. Because of that, the IndyCar Radio Network crew has access to the best seats in the house to bring that magic to the airwaves.
But I think the premier position for me has always been turn one. I think it carries a tremendous amount of relevance on starts and restarts. It's very, very important to get that right.
So to the basket, high above the grandstands we go, where Turn 1 announcer Nick Yeoman takes the responsibility for calling those green flag moments.
It's really cool to see him come out of Turn 4 going 70 miles an hour. By the time they get here, they're going 210. So the guys that are super aggressive, they'll make it 2 wide, they'll make it 3 wide. It gets crazy. My voice goes up a couple octaves.
And a big hit for the rookie Alex Palou. He got sideways at the exit of Turn 1. That car now, Michael, slides directly below you.
He crashed about 30 yards before where Marcus Ericsson hit, and he hit a ton. So when we have an incident, let's say we had the incident last year with Alex Palou. When Alex hit the wall, Nick was able to call it, and then I finished the rest of the call because when he hit in Turn 1, the car actually slid all the way down, almost to the entrance of turn number 2. And it's an interesting thing calling play-by-play here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You almost have to use peripheral vision the entire time. You really have to keep an eye open, and usually it's the sound that'll get your attention before the visual.
Down the back straightaway, the broadcast is tossed to Jake Query in Turn 3, which made me wonder.
Do you get distracted by the snake pit?
Never. That's a great question. That's a really good question because it's right across from me, and there's all kinds of EDM shows and techno lights and smoke going off. You know, a lot of people asked me last year when there were no fans here what it was like. Once the race starts, it was the same to me because you're concentrating on what's going on in the track. And while I love having all the fans here and the concert and all of that, you got a job to do.
And that job wouldn't get done without teammate Chris Denari, who brings the show full oval in Turn 4.
You know, one of the neatest things is having that final call on lap 200. When they're coming out of the short chute and it's close and you've got to make the call the right way to set it up for Mark Jaynes to make the call who's going to win the race.
Through the short chute, Simon Pagenaud the lead, tried to win from the pole. Take him home, Mark Jaynes.
Pagenaud got a strong run for turn number 4. He's going to pull away from Alexander Rossi. Simon Pagenaud sweeps the mud. Twin checkers out. He'll go to victory lane. Simon Pagenaud wins the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
That is great stuff.
Let's hear it for Lindsey. Fascinating piece.
That is great. And the funny thing is, every time they were showing somebody, we're like, oh, that person's amazing. That person's amazing. And, you know, I used to work with Michael Young over at X103, track dude Michael Young. And, you know, it's just, and you used to talk about Chris is an amazing person. And they keep their jobs forever because they're great jobs to have.
And I'll tell you, I have the utmost respect. You can't make a mistake because your window is maybe 4 or 5 seconds to maybe 11 when you're on. That's it. And so as they pitch to you, you've got to have it right, and they do a wonderful job.
Well, hey, sometimes in May during the race, we don't even hit 80-some degrees.